Hello, second grade families. My name is Miss Oshie, and I'm a second grade teacher at Fitzgerald Elementary School. This video is a resource to help you understand your child's tote bag. The first thing to remember is that this tote has important resources the students need to participate in their virtual lessons, and it needs to be well taken care of. That means it's important to find a safe place to keep the tote bag. For me, I'm going to keep my tote bag underneath my desk. That way, it's with everything that I have at home that I need for learning, and when I go to play with things in the living room or I'm at the kitchen table, my bag isn't going to be mixed up with other things that don't have to do with school. It's also important that you do not play with the items inside of the bag. I know that some of the things can be fun and can make good toys, or they might be good to share with your brother and sister who are also using virtual learning, but it's important that you keep what is in your bag, because we don't want your materials to get lost or mixed up. Whatever is in second grade's tote bag is going to be different than a fifth grader's tote bag, a kindergarten's tote bag, any other tote bag, okay? So that means if I have Unifix cubes in this bag and my brother wants to borrow Unifix cubes, I shouldn't let him, because his teacher will give him what he needs. So if he needs Unifix cubes, he should already have them. That being said, it's also important to put your name on your tote bag. So for me, I have my name written on a note card. So even though I don't have a way to put it on my tote bag, like I could have stapled it on or tied it on with string. Instead, I'm just going to put it in my bag. That way, if for some reason I did leave it on the kitchen table, or I was like, this isn't mine, I can just look inside and see, oh, it is Miss Oshie's bag. Why is it in my brother's room? So that way you know whose bag is whose. So with that being said, let's explore our second grade tote bags. Inside your tote bag, you will find the book, The Lemonade War. With this book should be a paper that says One School, One Book. So just like last year when we read The Adventures of Humphrey, this year we're also going to do One School, One Book with the book, The Lemonade War. So when all of this virtual learning is over and you do have to give your some of the things in your tote bag back, you get to keep this book, okay? And everybody in the entire school gets a copy of this book. Also in your bag, you will find one pencil and one pencil sharpener. You only get one pencil, so please be extra careful with it. In school, you usually, if you lose a pencil, you just grab another one. But at home, you might only have one pencil, so make sure you keep track of it. And don't tell your teacher, I don't have a pencil, so I can't do my work. Because we know you had a pencil, and we're going to need you to find it again. Also, don't lose track of your pencil sharpener. Very important, okay? You should also have a dry erase marker. Just one, but you need to keep it safe. You don't have an eraser to go with your dry erase marker, but you can wipe it away with your hand. You could use a tissue, a napkin, even toilet paper, okay? If you have an old sock you don't need or use, or you've lost the other one, sock is a good eraser too. You will also find a notebook. So right now, this notebook is empty and blank. I ask that you leave it alone until your homeroom teacher tells you what to do with this notebook, okay? Same goes with this folder. You should also have a plastic folder with 3-prong inside, okay? Again, please wait until your teacher tells you what to do with this folder, because each teacher might have you do something different. You should also have a Prince William County take-home folder. Now, you're probably wondering, why do I need a take-home folder? I'm going to be at home all the time. Well, yes, you are going to be home all the time, but in case we come back to school, this will come in handy. You should also find a dry erase pocket, which is this. And I'll explain how you're going to use this in just a little bit. I want to say, though, quickly, that you'll notice these are all different colors, and yours might not be red, purple, and green. The color doesn't matter. It's all just random, okay? So you get what you get, okay? But it's okay. Moving on to more specific content material, every student should receive a reader's notebook. This should be in your tote bag, and it has a spot for you to put your name. You can take a look inside, and it should be similar to your reader's notebook from first grade, but still a little bit different. Each year, no matter what the grade, you usually get a reader's notebook, and they're different depending on the grade level. You'll use this for reading, writing, and language arts and small groups. It's very important. Also for language arts, you should have 2 little books, okay? They might look the same at first, but they're actually different. You should have my word book and my Snap Words book. In my bag, one is green and one is purple. In your bag, they might be black and white, okay? Again, the color doesn't matter. But these are both different, and you will use them in language arts and small group. On the back of the My Snap Words book will be the alphabet, and on the back of my word book will be ways that you can tackle reading a word. The last couple of things that relate to language arts in your tote bag is just 2 pieces of paper stapled together that are word blending boxes, okay? It's a little hard to see with my light right now, but the first page has 2 boxes and an arrow, and then some more. For now, please don't mess with these. Just leave them stapled together and don't write on anything. On any of the papers in your bag, please, 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 I ask that you don't write on them. That's why we have our dry erase pocket, so that when we do need to write on something, it's not going to stay there forever. You can just erase it and use it over and over again. That being said, you should also have blocks of letters in the alphabet. So you should have a couple of pages that have different letters and phonemes, and then blank squares as well. Right now, you don't need to do anything with these, but you will be using them in language arts and small groups. I'm going to once again tell you, wait until your teacher gives you further instruction on what to do with these things. Moving on to math, you should have a decent stack of things printed on cardstock. So your child should have an open face clock with a big hand and a little hand, 4 pages of primary number cards. So these you can actually begin to cut out now, but please don't lose them, okay? So you should have 4 pages with numbers as cards. Then you should have 2 pages of base 10 blocks. Once again, you can cut these out, but please make sure that you're cutting out on the dotted lines only. And again, these are small pieces, so you might want to keep the things that you cut out in your smaller plastic bag. You will also have 2 part hole mats. You don't need to do anything to these at all. You should have 2 number line pages, one with a single number line and one with 2 number lines. you should have one page with 3 10 frames on it. So 1 10 frame, 2 10 frame, third 10 frame. Okay, and again, you don't need to do anything with this. And you should have 2 120 charts. Each one is slightly different, so that's why you have 2. You should also have a bag, a big bag, and in that bag is another bag. So I'm going to start with the smaller bag. In your smaller bag, you will have pretend coins that are quarter, dime, nickel, and pennies. Okay. And you should have multiple of each of those coins. You will also have a number cube. A number cube is a cube with the numbers written on it, just like this. Numbers 1 through 6. And you will have a pair of dice. Okay, 2 regular dice with the numbers as dots. Numbers 1 through 6. So that's your smaller bag. And when you're cutting out your number cards and your base 10 blocks, you might want to keep these in your smaller bag as well. Then in your big bag, there are 50 either connecting cubes or unifix cubes. They both do the same job. But you might have some that look different than mine. Not just in color, but these ones are unifix cubes, so your other ones might be connecting cubes. Either way, you have 50. So it's important not to lose track of these things, because when we do return to school, we will need these back. Also, it's a good way to know where everything is when you need it. So put this back in your big bag, and if you cut your things out, you can put those in here too. And then put that back in your tote bag. One last thing that I want to show you is how to use your dry erase pocket. So, say your teacher asks you to take out your 10 frame page, okay? And they want you to put it in your pocket. So you just put it in there. Ta-da! And they tell you, I want you to show me how to add, do 7 minus 3. What's the answer? So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And I need to subtract 3. So minus 1, 2, 3. Well, 7 minus 3, my answer is 4. Okay? And then you can just erase it with your finger, your hand, or you can get a tissue or a napkin or a sock, anything. And your paper inside is not touched, and you can totally start again. I hope that answered any questions you might have had or helps you feel more comfortable about what your child has. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or any of the other teachers, and we look forward to getting to know you and your student and using what they have in their bag. Thanks for watching. Bye.